Hello, Merry Christmas, Happy Winter Holidays. I have been taking a little break, and that's why you haven't heard from me in a little while, but it's time now to reflect on the year, to look at 2018 and where I've been and where I might be going and envisioning 2019. And so every year I choose a guiding word or sacred word that I use as my focus for the year, and sometimes it's a phrase, usually it's a phrase. This year it was a phrase. So my sacred phrase for 2018 was divine order. And when I chose that, it kind of had a twofold meaning to me. And one was really practical day-to-day organization and figuring out a schedule for my day and a way of living a more organized life, a more ordered life, and having my work be more ordered. And then the other meaning, of course, being God's timing and letting things unfold with divine timing without me trying to be in charge of that. Taking my hands off the steering wheel, in other words. So that has unfolded in a really interesting way. I always find that my word really makes itself known to me during the last 3 months of the year. That's when things really seem to shift for me. I want to be clear and say that I am not a law of attraction person. I don't think that I am manifesting anything in my life. I do make dream boards and do other things like that at the beginning of the year, but it's not because I think that I'm making something happen. It's because working with images, words and images, helps me focus in on the energy, on the emotion, and ideas that I'm dreaming for my year. So it's a point of focus, and it helps me tap into that energy that I want to be in and the feeling that I want to be in. I feel like it's kind of an important distinction. Really, the process is about discovery for me, and there's all of the stuff that I'm putting in, all of my dreams and goals and plans and what I hope to achieve and what I'd like to do and where my emotions are and what I'm seeing in the future. But then there's also grace, and there's just, the element of the divine in life and how things happen. And sometimes I think we just get moved into different directions. We get moved into things, into experiences that we had no way of knowing that those things were coming. So my year of divine order, 2018, how did it go? Well, at the beginning of the year, I found a yoga studio. That was something that I had really wanted, and I discovered a yoga studio that was everything on my list of what I would hope a yoga studio to be. It's within walking distance of my house. I love the people who teach there. I love the people who go to class there. It is real yoga, like what I think of as real yoga, in that it has the spiritual component, and it's not like going to a gym. It is like going to a yoga studio. It's small, and yet it's not intimidating, and all different shapes and sizes and abilities of people go there, and I absolutely love it. The thing that happened this year was that I had to let go of the pressure I was putting on myself to go on a certain schedule. And I had this idea of how many times a week I wanted to go to yoga, and then when I wouldn't meet that quota, when I would only go 1 time or 2 times, I would feel bad and I would feel like I had failed in some way. And so I finally had to I finally realized, like, that defeats the whole purpose of going to yoga, and I have to just let it be what it is, and I go when I go. I go at least once a week, and I'd like to go more often, and we'll just see how that unfolds. But I'm very grateful to have found my yoga studio. I'm in my 2nd year of EFM, which I love even better than the 1st year, and that's just a really important part of my both my spiritual life and my education right now. This year, at the beginning of the year, Tracy and I went to California, went to Los Angeles, which was my first time to go to LA or to California. Tracy has been many times, and it was a dream trip. It was fantastic, even though we got rained out the first day that we were there. Not what you want for your Southern California vacation, for a monsoon to come, but despite that, it was really fantastic, wonderful. I guess it was my favorite trip ever. My mom and I go to England in the summers together, and this year we met with my brother's family in Germany. And my favorite day of 2018 was the day that my nieces came into their hotel in Munich, and my mom and I were sitting there in the lobby, and they were so surprised, and we had a wonderful few days together in Germany. Also, we went to Austria and saw some of the Sound of Music sites, which was very, very cool. My parents and I went to Hopkinsville in Kentucky this year and visited the grave of Edgar Cayce, which was just a really great trip, and we stayed in a state park there, and I discovered this wonderful store in Hopkinsville called Milkweed that I really love. I also have, it's still hanging right now, my exhibition at the Divine Art Cafe in Nashville, Tennessee, and so that was a big highlight of 2018 as well. So the biggest thing that happened for me in terms of divine order in 2018 was bright line eating. If you really don't like to listen to people talk about body image and weight loss and food issues, you might want to turn the sound down for a minute, because I really do have to talk about this because it's so significant to me. It's something that I have been struggling with forever. I mean, for as long as I can remember in my life. And this year, I just happened to be on Facebook. I have a friend who lost a significant amount of weight doing bright line eating last year. I happened to be on Facebook and see her talking about it. I looked it up. I listened to the audiobook. I couldn't believe it because I felt like for the first time in my life, I'm listening to somebody talk about what's going on inside my brain. I started eating on this program, and it absolutely has changed my life. I've experienced a feeling of freedom around food that I've never felt in my life. I started on Labor Day. I've lost 28 pounds. And it truly is a day, you know, a one day at a time kind of thing. I'm like not projecting too far into the future, but I'm really excited about it. I'm so happy that I finally found this program, this way of eating that works for me. So right now I'm in the process of going through my closet and getting rid of all the clothes that don't fit anymore, which is just really fun. And I can't believe it. I can't believe it that it's so easy. This is so easy. I'm not suffering, not deprived. I just found the thing that works for me. And so that truly was the result of surrender. That was absolutely something that I had struggled with for so many years, and I finally just completely surrendered it. And this is the answer that came flowing in. So I'm very grateful for that. In my work, the big thing that I discovered that Divine Order helped me discover this year in my work is that I really cannot push things just because I think they're a good idea. Since I have worked for myself, since I have been someone who has a website and makes offers and sells things and creates online for a living, I've had this way of working. I have a lot of ideas, and so I will snap onto an idea, create it really quickly, launch it into the world, make a little bit of money off of it, and then create something else. And that's always been my pattern. And what I discovered this year is that that pattern isn't going to work anymore. I had an idea for something that I wanted to do. I was very passionate about it. I love it. I worked and worked and worked on it, and it would not come into being. I just kept coming up against a brick wall. Like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not the time for this thing. And I finally had to shelve it and just realize I can't do this thing. I can't push it. What feels right to me and what flows easily is for me to continue painting and for me to do my writing. But coming up with these ideas about, oh, I can make money doing this, or I can make money doing this, is not working anymore. And so that is what Divine Order has had me release this year in my work, is just to really focus on what I'm being called to do, listen to that voice within. The voice is saying, do this, this, and this. That's what I have to do, even if I can't see the pathway to income from those things, which is kind of scary, but I think I've learned to trust this year. I've learned that I have to, that there's no alternative. The paintings are changing. I can feel the way the paintings are coming in as evolving, and that's exciting. So 2018 was my year of divine order. I feel like 2019 is going to be a continuation of that same energy to a certain degree. I have chosen my phrase for 2019. I'm trying to decide if I should reveal it yet. I guess I will. It is peaceful prosperity. So I want to open up to the financial flow that I need to exist and to survive and to be able to do my work. But I'm letting go of stress. So I'm continuing that same feeling of divine order, of letting the divine be in control, and really getting into a place of stillness and peace with that and letting things flow. I have here at the end of the year started using my contemplative prayer app, which allows me to do contemplative prayer at the beginning of each day and the ending of each day, and that's been really a lovely way of inviting in peace. I heard contemplative prayer once talked about as the sensation of floating in God, and that is exactly what it feels like, and so I'm really loving that. I think that's like, those are the major things. That was the major stuff of my year. And so I do still have space open for Word of the Year paintings or sacred word paintings. I am working on those now. And you can go to my website to learn more about that. But basically, if you choose a sacred word, a guiding word, a phrase for your year, or even if you just have some intentions and you want me to help you choose the word, I am creating 12 by 12 prayer paintings to serve as containers for your word that you would hang in your altar space, on your wall, and allow those paintings to speak to you throughout the year. So I am working on some now. I do still have space to paint more. What I intend and what the commitment that I make to you is that all of those will be shipped by February 14. They will likely be shipped long before that, but that's just your way of knowing if you've ordered one and you haven't received it yet. You just don't be worried until February 15. That's the space I allow myself to paint those and let those come in for you. So I am working on those, and you can go to my website, which is Lori-Lyn to learn more about that if you would like for me to paint for you. I will also be working on a painting for myself for my word of the year. The past couple of years I haven't been focused on that as much, but I really do want to do that this year to sort of open up the gateway of my year. So I will keep you posted about that. I would love to hear from you if you chose a word for 2018, where it took you, how that word felt to you. I'll tell you that I wasn't super excited about divine order when I chose it. It just chose me, and I thought, well, okay, divine order, but it really did turn out to be good in terms of shifting a lot of things in my life, helping me get rid of a lot of things, and bring in new structures like this, for instance, my passion planner, which I realized this year I really like to have a paper planner, not just my Google Calendar and my Trello and things that I do online, but really a notebook that I can carry around with me, that I can draw in, that I can write lists in and look at those calendar pages every day. So I love my passion planner. That was something that came in as part of my year of divine order. Looking forward to see how that flows and expands into 2019. So I would love to hear from you about how your word worked out, if you've chosen a word for 2019, what it might be. So remember, it is Christmas until January 5th. So Merry Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, then happy holidays and happy winter. I hope you are also enjoying a rest right now. Just take a breather. All that stuff is still going to be there when you come back to it. So if you possibly can, I hope you're taking some time for yourself, enjoying this beautiful season, and I will be talking to you soon.